So what is going on, guys? Nando Prince 93 here with another video. So I wanted to kind of walk you guys through my experience so far with iPad Pro and using it as my daily computing device. It's been exactly 1 month as of yesterday because I bought this on Amazon and I put it on a 5-month payment plan, and yesterday I got charged or the second payment for this iPad. So I said, let's revisit it. It's been 1 month exactly of me using this iPad as my daily computing device for both personal use and work. So just to give you guys a little bit of backstory, about a month ago, I had a MacBook Pro 15-inch 2016 model. It was still a tank, guys. 16 gigs of RAM, 256 solid state drive for storage, USB-C all over the place. The screen was amazing, and it was in perfect condition. It still ran perfectly. But I thought to myself, I never use this thing. I have a Dell computer, a Dell laptop that work gave to me. The only time I ever actually used that computer is when I was kind of working from home, because I never brought the Dell laptop with me home because it was a little bit bulky, it's kind of heavy, I'm not a big fan of it. So I thought to myself, hey, I've been wanting an iPad Pro for a little while now. My mom has a 10-year-old MacBook Air. Why don't I get this thing on Prime Day, because it was $250 off. So this is the 12.9-inch, 256 gig non-data model. So just regular Wi-Fi for internet connection, because I didn't really need the data, right? I have my phone, which I can hotspot if I really need to, if I'm in a pickle and I need to get internet on my iPad, but at the same time, everywhere I go there's Wi-Fi. My apartment Wi-Fi, work Wi-Fi, if I'm at a coffee shop there's Wi-Fi, literally at the most random locations, and I'm in New York. New York has these like little phone charging stations that also produce Wi-Fi. So if I'm walking around and I really need to use this thing, I have Wi-Fi wherever I go. So I didn't find the need to spend another $150 just to make it data enabled, and then have to pay another $15, $20 a month for the data. But anyway, so that's the model that I have, and this is what replaced my MacBook Pro 2016, which was the first model with the new, aluminum body and the USB-C ports, and getting rid of all the other I/O. Overall, I've been loving this thing. I am running iPadOS Beta 6 right now. If you guys haven't seen my video of iPadOS Beta 6, I'll link it below. And it's been running very smoothly. I'm going to talk about first the hiccups that I've had, because this is a beta software, so I took it with a grain of salt. I knew what I was getting myself into. And again, I didn't put it on my iPhone. I didn't put iOS 13 on my iPhone because the last thing I need is for my iPhone to stop working on me. This is iPadOS Beta 6, and some of the glitches that I've gotten, right? It restarts randomly. In the last month, I would say it's restarted 3 times, but it's like a quick restart. It's not a normal when you go into the settings, turn it off, and then turn it back on. It's, for some reason, maybe you close out an app, or I have a brand new app that I downloaded, I open it, the system kind of shuts down, you get the little turning wheel, and then it instantly just powers back on. It's about 3 to 5 seconds. So it hasn't been a big deal, and I don't lose any data. If I'm working on something, it's still there. So the RAM is still working to make sure the apps are running in the background even when it restarts. Why does it do that? I don't know. I'm guessing it's, again, an iPadOS beta glitch, and I'm sure they're working on it. Another glitch that I found is with the Apple Pencil. So I would say on 2 occasions, right, the Apple Pencil has disconnected from this iPad. Why? Again, I don't know. I'd be in the middle of working on something, and then when I'm doing something, or taking notes or editing video, the input just kind of dies on me, and I'm wondering, hey, what's going on? And then I put it on top to make sure it's connected. And then if it's connected, you'll get the charging icon right there. But if it's not connected, it just says Apple Pencil on there, and it just stayed like that for a while. So the first time, it only lasted about a minute, and it just kind of connected on its own again. And then the second time, which actually happened yesterday, I had to turn the iPad off, turn Bluetooth off, turn everything back on, restart it, then leave it on top of there for a solid 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it started working again. Again, why? I don't know. Is that an iPadOS glitch, or is it the fact that, I got the Apple Pencil open box from Best Buy? It can go either way. I didn't get this brand new. I wanted to save, I think it was $30 I saved by getting it open box. But other than that, so we have the restarting of the iPad, the Apple Pencil. Sometimes the orientation gets confused. So if I'm in landscape mode, the dock will be on portrait. And again, but it just autocorrects itself pretty quickly. And those are pretty much the only iOS or iPadOS bugs that I've noticed personally in the last month. Otherwise, it's been running really smoothly. And again, I'm nitpicking. These are things that really did not disrupt my day-to-day, did not disrupt my workflow. It didn't really annoy me too much. The worst part was yesterday with the Apple Pencil, because I just couldn't get it to work for a while. It was a solid 10 minutes. And in the grand scheme of things, 10 minutes in a 1 month span is really not that bad, especially with all the amazing stuff that comes with iPadOS, like the widgets, like the external storage support, you know, the new gestures to pinch, to copy, to open up, to paste, and all these other things that come with iPadOS, which I really, really love. So I don't regret it at all. I still recommend putting iPadOS on your system because it gets you ready for the fall release and you start to know exactly what you're getting yourself into, because there's a little bit of learning curve. You can't just like pick it up all of a sudden. And then secondly, it also helps with the beta testers. There's a reason why it's called a beta, right? It's so Apple can get the data, learn from it, and then make it better for that fall release date. So, and I'm okay with that. I send them I always click the option, yes, send it over to developers, because I want them to make this thing run as smoothly as possible. And then not really an iPadOS situation, it's more of a just overall computing situation. The only time where I have not been able to do work on this device is when it comes to Chrome and the Chrome extensions. So as you guys know, Safari is a full desktop experience. You can hit up Google Docs, you get your websites in full desktop format. You don't have to press another button to get the desktop version. But with Chrome, since it's not an Apple-based app like Safari is, I don't really use Safari. I'm a Chrome user, and everything is saved in my Chrome. So with Chrome extensions for me is very important, because there's an application that we use for calling that uses a Chrome extension, and I can't do it, right? I cannot use it right now, which is kind of annoying, and I don't really know if Chrome and if Google is going to create a desktop class browser for the iPad. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does, and again, if it does happen, it'll happen in the fall, maybe in the winter time, because right now, why would Google jump into Apple's beta to update their applications when they're working perfectly fine for 99% of people? So that's the only thing that I noticed. And then with Safari, also one more thing that I noticed was when I was uploading a video, I use Safari on the iPad to upload a video. And when you try to put annotations on the edit annotations and add, like watch this next video or click here to subscribe, it wouldn't let me do it. It was weird. I would press the end credit button on the YouTube app, on the YouTube Studio app, and then it would jump me to the regular YouTube app, and it kept happening. So that's one thing where I had to use a regular laptop for. So those are the two. So you have one thing for work and one thing, for this YouTube channel that kind of is interrupted a little bit. But again, for the most part, this is where this thing can definitely get the job done if you want this to be your only device. Media consumption, super hard check. The screen is amazing. You have the ProMotion display, which I freaking love, which I started to notice because I still have my first gen iPad Pro, and you can tell when you're swiping back and forth, it's just slower on the other iPad and not as fluid. So for media consumption, it's amazing. If you're doing emails, writing essays, and you have a physical keyboard, that's amazing also. If you're just writing simple one-sentence emails, the on-screen keyboard is plenty. If you're a student or at work and you take a lot of handwritten notes, this pen is literally magnificent. I freaking love this pen. I use it every single day to take notes for work whenever I'm in meetings. And then what's awesome about it is that I use OneNote, so it's spread out throughout all my devices. So if I need to access it on my phone, it's there. If I need to access it on my Windows laptop, it's there. And then another thing is just video editing, guys. Or if you guys are a creative and you're editing pictures and editing videos, this thing is powerful enough. This is more powerful than my close to, I think it was $2,400 or $2,700 MacBook Pro from 2016, which is out of this world. Because you can get this thing, the cheapest version I've seen is $900 or $850 on Amazon for a 64 gig 12.9 inch. And if you want to go even cheaper, you can get the 11 inch because the internals on the 11 inch are identical. The only difference is the screen size. I think the 11 inch 64 gig you can get for less, so about $700, which to me is a bargain. And this thing is a year old, and I don't think Apple is going to release a new one this year. And if they do, it's just going to be a spec bump. Physically, it's not going to change at all. The only thing maybe I could see happening is they add another USB-C port, which would be amazing, but I doubt that Apple's going to do that. That's pretty much it. That's what I've been liking about iPadOS and about this iPad. It's been getting the job done exceptionally well, and I would highly recommend getting this device because this thing is future-proof. For the next 5 years, I will be using this as my main computer. No ifs, ands, or buts. For editing, for high intensity tasks like video editing, like photo editing, and also lower things like if I need to work on it and send emails, get in communication with people. I use the whole Microsoft suite and I use Microsoft Teams to collaborate with my team. Note taking and being able to access everything in the cloud, especially with the new Files app. You can sign into all of your cloud services and it's here. iCloud, if you use it, obviously. OneDrive, I have access to all of my work folders right here. Google Drive, if you need it, it's all right here if you want to sign in. And then of course, all the gestures and multitasking, and iPadOS basically is turning this into a everyday computer that is going to be good for about 99% of the population, in my opinion. This is what the future is going to be, in my opinion. 2 to 3 years from now, you're going to have more people with iPads than laptops. And I don't know what Apple's going to do with their MacBook Pro line, if they're going to just hike up the price even more to make it more exclusive and have this be like the new, remember those 12-inch MacBooks that sold decently well, or maybe a MacBook Air? Like, this is what it's going to be. And this thing is amazing. It's futuristic. It's very minimal. I love it. So that's going to do for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I appreciate the time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We've been doing really, really well, and I'm trying to get to that 1,000 sub mark because that would be amazing. But thank you so much for the support. Until next time, peace.